Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I have to talk to you guys about trade-ins because there are some important updates if you're looking to trade in your vehicle anytime in the near future. Before getting into this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. And if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post this content every single day. Let's get into it. Let's start by talking about what trading in a vehicle actually is. And I know this might seem pretty self-explanatory, but I've got to set some boundaries. So first off, trading in a vehicle is when you are taking a vehicle that you currently own and selling it to the same exact dealership that you are purchasing a vehicle from. So if you go and sell your vehicle to another person, like a private sell, that's not trading in a vehicle. If you sell your vehicle to a different dealer that you are not buying a vehicle from, that's also not trading in a vehicle. So it has to be within the same dealer. Basically, there are some exceptions to the rule, and I'll explain that later in this video, but that's kind of the general rule. Now that we have a rough definition of what trading in a car is, let's talk about some of the benefits and the downsides. So on the benefit side of things, it's really easy to do because you don't have to deal with the haggling back and forth with someone that's trying to purchase your car, showing people your car. You literally just get a cash offer from a dealership, you decide if you want to take it or not, and then you move on with your life. So super easy. Another big benefit is if your state happens to have a tax credit system in place, then that means that your trade-in will actually deduct some of the taxes off of the vehicle that you're purchasing. I'll use a pretty easy example. So let's say that you go and purchase a $50,000 vehicle and you're trading in a car that's worth $50,000. You don't have to pay taxes on that purchase in that case. Now, typically most people tend to buy cars that are more expensive than the car that they're trading in. And so usually it just lowers the overall tax burden and doesn't completely wipe it out because there's typically, again, a value difference. But those are the big key benefits with trading in is, again, tax credit, and then it's just easy. Now, the biggest downside with trading in your car is the fact that you won't get as much money for it compared to if you sold it yourself, because with trade-ins, you're typically getting wholesale value for your car versus retail value. Now, this is definitely, the general trend, but this isn't a hard, fast rule because some vehicles have a wholesale value and retail value that are so close that you might as well trade in. And something else to mention is you always need to calculate how much money you're getting in tax credit on your trade-in and see how much that is compared to the retail value on your car, because with a lot of people, the wholesale trade-in value plus the tax credit is sometimes as much as what you'd get if you tried to retail out of that car, and you wouldn't get tax credit in that way. Well, there actually is a loophole that you can do, and I'll talk about that later in this video. But in most cases, if you just sell it to a private party, then you're not going to get any tax credit. And so you just need to run the numbers and make sure that it makes sense before you go and try to retail out of your car and basically get the same amount of money that you'd get if you traded it in and you'd spend all that time showing people your car and wasn't worth it. Now let's quickly talk about some of those pesky trade-in loopholes that I kind of alluded to earlier in the video. The first one is what's called an in and out trade-in deal. And this is where you can actually retail out of your car, get the full retail value, and get tax credit on your car as well. So what this looks like is you post your car for sale, and then you find a third party that is willing to purchase your car. You then take that third party to the dealership that you're planning on purchasing your new car from, and you tell the dealership you want to do an in and out deal, and the dealership will typically charge, maybe $500 or $1,000 to put together this deal. But what they will then do is pay you whatever you're selling your car to the third party for. And so that's how you can get retail value for your car while still trading in. Now that third party obviously still has to pay, the other dealer fees. So there's like a dealer doc fee typically, and then also tax title licensing and all that. And so you might have to come down a little bit on your price to accommodate for that versus just selling it to them directly. But it almost always works out. I've done this several times, and most people are more than okay with doing an in and out deal because they understand why you want to do it. Again, the tax benefits and being able to get, retail value for your car. And so that's kind of the first loophole where you can sell your car but then also still get all of the tax benefits of trading in your car. Now, the other pesky loophole is the fact that you can get a trade-in value from one dealer and you can purchase from another dealer but still have that same trade-in value apply. And this is because dealers are okay with selling their inventory to other dealers. I'll give you guys an example. So when I purchased my Ram TRX in 2021, I purchased it out of Texas. And if you guys don't know, Texas is a market that is flooded with trucks. And so resale value for pickup trucks in Texas is abysmal. I wanted to trade in my 2020 Raptor for this 2021 Ram TRX, but I obviously wanted to get the most amount of money for my truck. So I had the Texas dealer appraise my Raptor, and they appraised it at $4,000 less than what dealers in my local state, Utah, were appraising my truck for. And this isn't because the local dealers were trying to, pull some funny business, or the Texas dealers trying to pull some funny business. It's literally because there was a market difference. So what I did is I had the Texas dealer buy my truck, but then in reality, a local dealership was buying my truck. So I still got tax credit on my Raptor towards the Ram TRX. So I didn't pay nearly as much money in taxes as what I would have normally paid. And I got the higher amount because the Texas dealer just sold it to the Utah dealer that I had everything lined up with. So that's something else that you can do with a trade-in, where you can basically get yourself extra money for your vehicle if another dealer is willing to pay more money for your vehicle, but you want to buy a car from a completely different dealership. Now let's dive into why this information is more important now than ever. And that's because the trade-in value disparity between dealerships is the biggest that I have ever seen it. And I think it's just because certain dealers are preparing for huge price drops, whereas other dealers seem to think that, well, the price drops are coming, but they're probably not going to be as bad as what everyone thinks. And so for you as a consumer, what you need to know is that you seriously need to shop your trade-in in today's market. Do not just take the first offer that you get with your trade-in. Go to multiple dealers, get your car appraised by multiple dealers, and just look at the value difference, and I think that you will be shocked. I am not able to fully talk about this deal quite yet because I haven't fully closed on it, but I am currently in the process of purchasing a car for my main channel. And I can tell you right now that the first trade-in appraisal that I got on the vehicle that I'm trading in was literally $10,000 less than the highest trade-in value that I got on the vehicle. Like, that is a huge disparity. Now, the vehicle is a slightly more expensive vehicle, so like percentage wise, that's probably, about like a 7-ish percent, no, more than that actually. It's like a 13 to 14% difference from the lowest trade-in value to the highest trade-in value on the vehicle. But I mean, either way, like $10,000, that is a ton of money. And so that's something that you guys need to focus on if you're trading in your vehicle today, is that there is a pretty big disparity from one dealer to the next in today's market. Now, another big change that's occurring in the market today with trade-ins is the fact that there is a disparity between wholesale values and book values. In a normal market, there's usually like a little bit of a difference, but it's not too big. Whereas in today's market, with values declining at the rate they're declining, book values simply can't keep up. And so what we're generally seeing is that the wholesale value on a car will be less than the book value, but in some cases the book value will be less than the wholesale value because the companies that are making those book values overestimate where the car is going to go from a pricing perspective. And so, yeah, it's a complete mess. And so when it comes to what dealers will pay for a car, it's never book value. Dealers do not care about what the book value of a car is. The only entity that cares about book values is lending institutions, because lending institutions will give out loans based on book value. Dealers will pay based on what wholesale value is on a car, or what they believe wholesale value is going to be on a car. Because like I mentioned in a prior video, dealers are prepping themselves for retail values to decline by a massive amount over the next few months. And so they are paying below wholesale value because they're like, well, this isn't wholesale value today, but this is what wholesale value is going to be tomorrow. And so as a consumer, focus on those wholesale values. Yes, look at the book values, but understand there's probably going to be a pretty big difference between those numbers right now with all of the volatility we're seeing in the car market. Now, pulling everything together, trading in a car can be something that is really beneficial to you as a consumer because, well, it saves you a lot of time and you get tax credit when you trade in a vehicle, but there's the obvious downside that you're not going to get as much money for your vehicle as if you retailed out of it yourself. However, you can get around that with the quote-unquote loopholes that I mentioned in today's video, with shopping your trade-in at multiple dealers and getting the highest possible offer and using that high offer at the dealership that you're purchasing your vehicle from so you can, again, get the best of both worlds, or selling your car to a third party so you can fully retail out of your car and still get the tax credit benefits. And like I said earlier, I think this is really important in today's market with all of the volatility we're experiencing with wholesale prices and the fact that retail prices haven't quite come down. And so I'm just going to say this now. For you as a consumer, if you are educated, i.e. someone who is watching these videos and other videos about, the whole car market situation, then you can actually use a situation to make you a little bit of money, because there are a lot of people that don't know what's happening with the car market currently. Like, there are some people that think that the car market is still really hot and that they have to pay big retail prices for vehicles. I've mentioned in several videos where there are people that will go into a dealership and buy the same exact car on the same exact day, and one person will pay thousands of dollars more than the other person just because one person's educated and the other person isn't. So use it to your advantage, especially with the fact that you know that you can now retail out of your car and still trade it in on a new car and get all the benefits. Hopefully this helps you guys out, especially if you're looking to trade in your car. And if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe, because I post this content every single day. I'll see ya.